the day we find.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night to whomever, whichever, however, wherever way you shall be watching this video, if you should so choose to watch this video. And if you choose to watch this video, I appreciate you spending your time here, watching me blabber for an X amount of time. Your time is precious and valuable, and you chose to watch it, watching me, or listening to me. Today's subject of video is going to be what eating healthy means to me. So, eating healthy, at least nowadays in our society, at least in this country, it all depends on where you live. It's become more expensive to eat healthy, and if you don't work or you don't earn enough money to afford to stick to eating healthy, it can really affect, well, your ability to eat healthy and just overall potentially affect your health in the long term. You can still eat healthy on a low budget. Just it's got to be very cautious, and you got to be very particular and very gotta keep an eye out. Gotta be very proactive and looking for good deals. And not only that, but just really taking advantage of sales that stores have, coupons, promotions, rebates, all that good stuff, and just catering that stuff to what your diet or what your habits are, what you're eating, what your healthy eating habits are. That really would help you maintain, or at least still eat healthy despite being on a strict budget. My personal eating habits growing up have been rather inconsistent. Never really had solid, healthy eating habits growing up as a child, because I lived, and my family and my brothers and sister lived in a household where money was tight, so we didn't really spend a whole lot of money eating healthy, but when we did, we would have stuff like liver, chicken, obviously, eggs, steak occasionally, small pieces of steak, usually obviously like some of the cheapest stuff that you can get. For cheapest meat you can get cold cuts as well. Not necessarily healthy for a growing child, being this given back then. A lot of the meat was filled with antibiotics and hormones and all that stuff, and just like cold cuts, turkey, salami, bologna, the heavily processed nitrite filled stuff and whatnot. Not ideal. But and then some of our eating habits were, for some days we would have junk food. I would actually say more than some days. I would say it was at least, if I can recall correctly, 3 to 4 times a week we'd have junk food. So that's like chips, juice, the high fructose juice, cookies, cupcakes. Yeah, it's not exactly healthy eating. And well, part of it for me personally is like it had affected my oral hygiene growing up. So I lost a couple teeth already because of it, and not only that, but just from poor oral hygiene. I live in a household where brushing your teeth was encouraged, but it was never really enforced. So there's that. So again, it's ultimately affected that aspect of my life. Eating healthy feels like, at least for me personally, it's actually like I'm catching up. It wasn't until these past, say, 6 years or so, where I really spent more focus and attention and more time on eating healthier. And while it's never too late, I feel like I missed the bandwagon. Probably a bad metaphor, but missed the benefits, or at least the most effectiveness of eating healthy growing up versus just having some of that. I mean, to some degree, not a lot. Again, I did have some healthy stuff. But it's, I kind of like touched upon in another video where it's like, if you've grown up eating unhealthy, you've been overweight, so on and so forth, you can still have a healthy adulthood. You can be healthy in your adulthood, but it's more like you got to be a little bit more careful, more cautious. Meaning your body can withstand you deviating from healthy habits for a little bit, but not for too long as you get older. Versus somebody who maybe had that strict discipline or used to been eating healthy growing up, and they continue to do so. It's like, and if they deviated in eating some unhealthy stuff, it's not really going to affect them much. At least not all too much. It depends, really. Everybody's different. For me personally, it's just like, it's been a staple in my life as of late. Feels like if I was to deviate and eat unhealthy, I just feel like crap. I just feel like I'm going backwards. I don't like that. So it's like, but I can see the benefit of having a cheat meal or a cheat day, and which I still do on occasion. I still do have, maybe a cheat meal every once in a while. Like I did have one the other day. I had Burger King. Not ideal, but I was gonna like, I have this now. But now it's just like back on to eating relatively healthy. So it's like right now I got like some chicken and some mixed vegetables, a vegetable medley. I have like broccoli, cauliflower, and some carrots. My compromise with that is to have a little bit of ranch dressing, so I still have at least some enjoyment eating that stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do enjoy eating broccoli, cauliflower, and carrots. I do like the taste, but it just adds a little extra. You get to enjoy it a little bit more. It's something that we should all be doing, you all should be conscious of, because you'd be surprised on how much your diet affects more than just your physical health, but also your mental health. If you're deficient, or you don't have enough of a nutrient, or you're not getting enough of maybe a certain probiotic, not getting enough fiber, it can lead to other ailments like irritable bowel disease, or IBD, or Crohn's, intestinal issues, bloating, acne, no shortage of ailments that can occur from having a really bad diet. Obviously it puts you at risk for diabetes, or some high cholesterol, or high blood pressure. Especially, it all depends on your activity level as well, your genes, and just how much, especially. Definitely an emphasis on quantity also plays a crucial role. So it's like, it's one thing where you eat unhealthy, but you don't eat a lot of it, but you're relatively active, you burn it off, you can get away with it for a certain period of time, but ultimately still the long-term aspect of it is still not ideal, not good for you. But at least your body can handle it and process it better in lower quantities than it does in higher quantities. Because again, when I was at my heaviest, I was like over 240 pounds. I felt constantly out of breath, weak, tired, fatigued. I had skin conditions, a lot of acne. My allergies were bad. Obviously, there's the aspect of getting bigger clothes. You have to get larger clothes to fit. And it just really affected my mood, more so like mentally, especially. definite emphasis. You can be healthy without really being physically active all too much. Maybe some mild exercise, like very faint or brief, like you just maybe walk for a little bit, a couple days a week, and then just your general activity for the week and whatnot, or your work week, enough to maintain a stable body weight and composition and overall health level. But diet is probably the most important, right up there with exercise. Obviously exercise is second, because again, when you couple a good diet with exercise, moderate or higher endurance exercise, they go pretty well together. So you'll get more benefits, you see more results, you can handle things probably better, maybe certain stressful events. And not only that, exercise can help clear your mind, can help you think better or straighter. But yeah, so I do recommend, especially if you feel like your mood has been like pretty bad. I would say if it's more based on circumstance, then maybe, obviously that's not really your main issue, but it still could be an issue. But let's say if things are going good for you, meaning you're financially doing okay, your relationships are okay, but yet you still feel crummy, or your mood is impacted, or you just feel tired, fatigued, and you have a poor diet, and let's say you do have habits like smoking, drinking, or any other kind of habit that is can cause harm to some degree to you over, let's say, the long term, definitely ideal to try to change that and get out of that habit, or get out of those habits in general. Sometimes it's like you can even, like, if you're like me and you're proactive or relatively proactive and trying to maintain a healthy diet, and you also are curious about like supplementation and keeping up on vitamins and minerals, and looking up other things like nootropics or alternatives, such as Ayurvedics, or like stuff like Shiaji, ashwagandha. Still got to be careful with that stuff, because the last thing you want to do is you see all these supplements, like, oh, this sounds great, but you don't look up the negative effects of it, or you splurge and you buy a lot of supplements and then you just hork them all down in the morning, or one of something in the morning. You never really know how your body's going to react to that, because if anything, you may think all those extra supplements that you're taking will help you, but the flip side of it is you're putting a lot more stress on your liver and your kidneys to process all that extra. So you could be potentially causing damage in the long term. I'm not a medical professional, I'm not a professional dietitian. This is just based on my observation and my understanding, and I have been the type that just would like to take supplementation, thinking, okay, this is just an extra step or an extra thing I can do to essentially just have some preventative maintenance done, or preventative maintenance done. So we're kind of curtailing these issues, but yeah, I'm having like an issue with like my gallbladder and some intestinal issues. I'm not sure what it is, but I have to see a gastroenterologist next week about it. So there's a flip side of it. If anything, if you're going to be taking a bunch of supplements, break up your intake of them over the course of the day. Like, have your vitamin D in the morning, have your vitamin C, vitamin A in the morning. Do some research on your supplementation. See what supplements have have a specific effect. Maybe may keep you up. So therefore, you may want to take that in the morning. And you also want to look up if any of these supplements may react with each other in a negative way, potentially, because you don't know, like, supplements by themselves, when you mix them together, like say if you crush them up, you make your own pill, make your own supplements, you're not really, still, if you're not educated enough, and you ingest it, you may not be entirely sure how it's going to react to your stomach acids, because primarily a lot of the vitamins the supplements that you take gets converted into the vitamin that you need when it hits your stomach acid. So there's that aspect of it. So just got to be a bit cautious. Don't just look up the benefits, look up the potential side effects and downsides, and look up any reactions that may occur if you're coupling or pairing supplements together. See what you can get away with actually doing that. Maybe microdose, meaning take less of a particular supplement than you should if you're not deficient, and just observe your body, observe your body's reaction, and just see how it affects you. You are the arbiter of your body. You have, I wouldn't say ultimate control, but you have some say over how your body is gonna, react and function and respond. So be cognizant of what you put into it before doing something potentially harsh to it, or because it could cause potentially irreversible damage, and you don't want that. But yeah, that's just my take on eating healthy means to me. If you stuck through this whole entire video, I appreciate it. Your time is precious and valuable. Again, I do appreciate you spending your time here watching this video. Remember that whatever you're going through is temporary. You'll get past it. You just got to keep telling yourself that. Believe it, because it will. Be proactive, and also trying to shorten that span of time if you can. Talk to somebody, help try to make it more bearable, more culpable, if that makes sense. I'm tired. I can't word right now. But yeah, hang in there. You're appreciated, you're loved. Things will get better for you if you're dealing with something. Reach out for help if and when you need to. Don't do everything alone, because you can't do everything alone. If you need help, reach out for help. Don't do it alone if you can't, especially if it does require somebody to help. Again, thanks for watching, and have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.